Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone joining us from every corner of the world. Welcome to the 2025 Enlight Fellowship Summit, a global celebration of social entrepreneurs scaling youth-led solutions to mental well-being. My name is Cynthia Campos, and I'll be your host for today's summit. Whether you're tuning in from a classroom, an office, or your favorite cozy spot at home, we're so grateful to have you here. Each person in this virtual space is part of a growing movement, one that's making conversations around mental health louder, braver, and more creative than ever before. The Enlight Fellowship was created with a clear vision: to equip leaders in the Greater China region and the Chinese diaspora with the tools, mentorship, and networks to scale innovative youth-led solutions focused on mental health support, well-being services, psychological resources, and community-based mental health initiatives. Over the last 4 months, the Enlight Fellows have been equipped with award-winning training, expert mentorship, a global network, and resources to scale their initiatives and create impact globally. Today's summit marks the beginning of the next phase of their impact journeys as they officially become Enlight Fellowship alumni and join a global network of leaders creating positive change across the globe. Over the next hour and a half, you'll hear live pitches from 14 Enlight Fellows who are driving change in their regions, leading projects that not only improve access to mental health care, but also help transform the way communities talk about and experience well-being. So as you listen, I invite you to think about what mental well-being means in your own context and how these approaches might spark ideas, partnerships, or small changes that can ripple through your own work and community. And since we have a global audience joining us today, we'd love to make the chat a space for connection. If you haven't already, we encourage you right now to introduce yourself, your name, where you're joining from, and what inspired you to be here. And throughout the event, be sure to share any questions, reflections, or shout-outs to the fellows, especially as their initiatives resonate with you. To begin this event, it's my honor to introduce Piril Ho, the entrepreneur in residence for the 2025 Enlight Fellowship, who has guided the 2025 Enlight Fellows through each phase of their fellowship journey. Piril will be guiding us through a brief mindfulness activity to ground us in the theme of today's summit. Piril is a mindfulness and self-compassion coach and somatic movement facilitator. With over 15 years of practice, she supports young leaders in cultivating clarity, resilience, and inner balance. She serves as a strategic content advisor for mindfulness platforms, a mentor for nonprofit and social impact incubators, and an ambassador for wellness brands. A former attorney and entrepreneur, Piril integrates her professional experience with mindfulness, neuroscience-informed approaches, and somatic work to help communities reconnect with their inner strength and well-being. Piril, thank you for helping us to set a meaningful tone for our journey today.
Before we begin the summit, let's take a moment to arrive, not just with our body, but with our mind and our hearts. Sit upright yet relaxed. Let the shoulders soften and the hands rest naturally. You're welcome to close your eyes or lower your gaze. Take a slow breath in through your nose and a soft breath out through the mouth. Breathe in and out. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Just breathing. Just arising. Let this be a gentle pause, a small doorway into present. From your hands to your lower belly. This is the center of balance and calm in many Asian traditions. Feel the rise and fall of the breath here. As you breathe, imagine a warm, steady glow gathering beneath your hand. In that warm center, picture a golden small lotus bud. With each inhale, it gently expands. With each exhale, a petal opens. Inhale, growing. Exhale, opening. Breath by breath, petal by petal. The lotus blooms. You may lower your hands whenever you're ready. Feel the soft golden light filling your belly with warmth, ease, and steadiness. Let the golden light begin to spread. From the belly to the chest, easing the heart, to the shoulders, melting tension, down the arms, into the palms and the fingers, soft and relaxed. Let the light travel up the neck to your face, opening the eye, calming the mind. Let the light travel down the spine, vertebra by vertebra, to your back, to the head, the side, the knees, the calf, and all the way to your feet. Feel your entire body held in the gentle golden light. You are refreshed, energized, grounded, and fully present. Inside this warm field of light, ask quietly, what do I want to bring to this summit today? Maybe a word of here, clarity, curiosity, courage, compassion. Hold that word gently in the golden lotus at your center. Take a slow breath in and out. Now feel the ground beneath your feet. Gently move your fingers and toes. Whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Welcome to this moment. May your intention travel with you through every moment of the day.
Thank you so much, Piril, for guiding us through that grounding mindfulness exercise and for all the incredible support you've given the fellows throughout their journey in this fellowship. Now that we're grounded in the theme of the 2025 Enlight Fellowship and Summit, we'd like to take a moment to express deep gratitude to our partners who make the Enlight Fellowship possible. Please join me in welcoming Maeve Williams, External Relations Coordinator of Strategic Partnerships at Watson Institute, who will share a few words of appreciation and introduce our very special keynote speaker. Maeve, over to you.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, for the warm introduction. I wanted to start by saying thank you to each of this year's Enlight Fellows who have so eloquently shared their stories of impact as they scale youth-led solutions to mental well-being, and to every one of you in the audience joining us today to celebrate these fellows as they embark on the next step of their impact journeys. Speaking on behalf of myself and my entire team at Watson Institute, we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedules to listen to their stories and celebrate their impact. One of the most meaningful parts of my role on the Strategic Partnerships team here at Watson Institute is listening to fellows tell stories about the impact they are creating in their communities and sharing these stories with our partners, which is why I am so honored and grateful to have the opportunity today to thank the partners who make this impact possible. Thank you to our partners at the Enlight Foundation, who have generously sponsored the last 10 years of the Enlight Fellowship, which has equipped over 500 of China's most promising rising leaders, including the 2025 Enlight Fellows who you've seen present today, with award-winning training, committed mentorship, access to capital and financial stipends, and the resources to lead a community-led workshop, which we call a base camp. Thanks to their partnership, the Enlight Fellowship has created an incredible ripple effect of impact across China and beyond. Alumni of the Enlight Fellowship have impacted over 10,000 lives through the ventures and careers they have led. The 2025 Enlight Fellows alone have already created 117 paid jobs, raised over $740,000 in capital, and collectively supported the mental well-being of hundreds of thousands of young people across China, the US, and around the world. As Enlight Fellowship alumni, they will continue to receive connections to a powerful global network and long-term sustainable alumni support as they continue to scale youth-led solutions to mental well-being. With that, it is my great pleasure to introduce our esteemed keynote speaker, Jin Liu, the president of the Enlight Foundation. The Enlight Foundation invests in young people, elevates youth voices, and partners with foundations, researchers, and nonprofits to empower youth and advance education equality. Watson Institute has had the pleasure and honor of partnering with the Enlight Foundation for the last 10 years to power the Enlight Fellowship, which has supported over 500 of China's most promising rising leaders who have gone on to impact over 10,000 lives through the ventures they are leading and the jobs they are creating. As we look back on this impact, it is clear that the community of Enlight Fellows are truly changing the world, and we couldn't be more thankful to partners like Jin for making this possible. With that, I will hand it over to her.
Hi, welcome to the Enlight family. My name is Liu Xin, and lots of people here call me Xinjie. I'm the founder and president of Enlight Foundation, which is a family foundation based in California that I started in the spring of 2004. As a first-generation college graduate from a working-class family in China, I was very fortunate to finish my master's study in the US with generous donors' support. And so I'm a product of public education and strangers' generosity, my parents' strong belief in me, and that education being one of the biggest equalizers in this world. So when I found myself in a position to give back and pay forward, I started my family foundation 21 years ago. It's time for our foundation to spend boldly on two issues: youth mental well-being and youth-driven climate solutions. To this day, as founder of People and Future, I strongly believe the young people are the ones who are closest to these issues. Therefore, they're mostly the ones who develop the best solutions. As of today, in terms of philanthropic dollars invested, Enlight Foundation is the biggest funder in the world in the space of youth mental well-being, which is what leads us to be here today together. Watson has been one of Enlight Foundation's strategic partners from its early days. We've been on this journey for a decade. We first started Enlight Fellowship at Watson at its Boulder campus, and then grew to Lin University's 4-year program, then to Duke Kunshan's campus during COVID to support more students from Greater China, and then to today, this cohort that's theme-based, that focus on developing solutions to support youth mental well-being. Since 2015, Enlight Fellowship has supported over 100 Enlight Fellows across Greater China. And then the Enlight Fellows have supported hundreds of thousands of young people around the globe. Enlight Fellowship alums have gone on to be named Schwarzman Scholars, Obama Foundation Scholars, Diana Award winner, as well as being named on Fortune's 30 under 30 lists. Quite proud of all of you. And the long-term sustainable impact of Enlight Fellowship relies on each and every one of us to stay engaged with this unique community. As you can tell, and most likely have experienced first-handedly, Enlight family is a tight-knit community. Our early alumni have contributed in great ways. Lala's is a perfect example in this case. It is what happens when you invest in people and community. It's a gift that keeps giving back. Congratulations to the graduating 2025 Enlight Fellowship Fellows. Welcome to join the alumni community. And I'd like to invite you to continue to engage with the Enlight Fellowship community by nominating for Enlight Fellows or by collaborating with an Enlight Fellow or alum, and even more, become a coach and a life coach, a mentor for Enlight Fellows going forward. As we gather for this inaugural Enlight Fellowship Summit and celebrate the special cohort of social entrepreneurs who are transforming mental well-being in communities across Greater China, let's not forget the heroes behind the scene who make this happen. Shout out to Eric, Lalas, Watson team in Boulder and in China, and shout out to all the alums and fellows, mentors, and coaches who you can count on for many years to come on your journey to be an impact and a meaningful leader in this world. And that includes me, who will support you along the journey. By the way, I'm recording this from Bhutan, where I have traveled for the past 2 months. Unfortunately, I won't join you during the live event, but I have learned so much while I was traveling here. As much as the world is misled by the gross national happiness index that Bhutan has, they assume that Bhutan has the happiest people on earth. This is very much heartbreakingly poor country, and it's suffering brain-drain challenges where its young and talented educated people are migrating overseas to seek better opportunities, and their teachers are only on contract for half of a year. There's so much work to do, yet I see hope because of the young people I've met along the way. Just last week, I met 3 young people in Tashi-Yangtze, the far eastern region of the Bhutan that's bordering China and India. Out of the 3 young people, 2 of them are artists, and 1 is a school teacher. One of the young artists suffered mental health challenge during COVID. His other 2 friends invited him to volunteer his time and talent for after-school programs as well as weekend programs to help students, about 30 of them, to express themselves through art. So Feng Shu has healed himself through the whole process by helping others, and he is renovating his family's abandoned home in a very remote village and building 2 natural trails so 3 of the friends can take the students to go on weekend retreat and learn in nature and learn art in nature as well. So nowadays, Feng Shu is learning to write proposals and seeking help to support his venture. And I call it social venture. He probably doesn't know that yet. Does that sound familiar? I feel like I see myself in him, and I can't help but wanting to support him. And there are so many young people in the world just like him. So be the light to shine on yourself and shine on others whenever you can. And empower others just the way you want to be empowered to continue your work. And be the action. The world needs your courage. And the whole Enlight Fellowship community is here to support you, to protect your courage. Congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you, Shin and Maeve. Now it's my absolute pleasure to introduce someone who has been guiding and cheering on the Enlight Fellows since day one. Please join me in welcoming Lalas Chen, Senior Programs Manager at Watson Institute, who will share more about the heart of this program. Lalas, over to you.
Thank you, everyone. Standing here today, I feel incredibly grateful and humbled. As the program manager who recruited each of you from day one, and who had the honor to walking alongside you through this entire journey, joining your group sessions, your late night check-ins, your workshops, and base camps. This experience has been one of the greatest joys of my personal and professional life. Witnessing your growth has been extraordinary. But what surprised me even more was how much I grew with you. This year has stretched me, nourished me, and opened my heart in ways I never expected. I learned so much, humbly, sometimes clumsily, simply by being in the room with you. For that, I'm deeply thankful. I want to express my sincere gratitude to the Enlight Foundation for making this fellowship possible, for believing in this work, and for supporting us unconditionally. To my amazing team and our leaders, thank you for your guidance, your trust, and your endless dedication. And most importantly, to our fellows, thank you. Truly, you are the reason we are here. You are the reason this program matters. Throughout this month, I joined many of your workshops and base camps, not just to observe, but to feel, to learn, to understand. I saw firsthand how your work changes lives, and I also got to know you, your beauty, your grace, your humor, your courage. I saw your resilience despite the challenges you carry, the struggles you've endured, and the questions you continue to hold. This cohort is full of ordinary heroes and sheroes doing extraordinary work in the midst of a global mental health crisis. Some of your approaches are preventive, some are artistic, some spiritual, some deeply somatic or scientific. But every single one of them is powerful, creative, and essential. Thank you for offering your gifts to the world. Thank you for sharing your passion so generously. And thank you for passing on a light that may brighten someone's heart in their darkest moment. As we close this chapter today, please remember, this is not an ending. This is just the beginning. I cannot wait to see where you go from here, how you grow, and how brightly you will continue to shine. And I will continue to cheer for you from near or afar with all my heart. Congratulations, Enlight Fellows, and thank you for letting me be part of your journey.
Thank you, Lalas, for that heartfelt introduction and for your unwavering support to each of the 2025 Enlight Fellows. Now, it's time to hear from the 2025 Enlight Fellows themselves, each of whom has been creating solutions that strengthen mental well-being in their own unique way. During this first round of pitches, you'll hear from fellows whose ventures use movement, art, and expressive practices to reconnect people with their bodies, creativity, and community. From yoga and storytelling to somatic education and expressive arts, these innovators are transforming mental wellness in deeply experiential ways. First up is Jessica Liu, founder of After Sunset Somatic Arts, a leading somatic education community in China that advances cross-cultural dialogue through embodied learning. She develops integrative, research-informed programs that serve educators, artists, and communities seeking deeper understanding of the moving body. Since 2018, After Sunset has delivered high-impact teacher trainings, international residencies, and collaborative programs with global experts, establishing a leading influence on the development of somatic pedagogy in Asia. Jessica, please take it away.
What if our world is full of magic, yet we are losing the sensitivity to see it? The knowledge and practices that our ancestors held so close to their hearts are now disappearing among the younger generation. 10 years ago, I was lost, disconnected from my own body, my culture, and my spirit. And After Sunset was founded to change this. Established in 2019, After Sunset has emerged as a pioneer platform in China dedicated to reawaken our human potential through somatic education, where movement, artistry, and traditions meet to enable us to become more happy, healthy, and wise. Somatic practices draw from ancient Eastern wisdom, and through an innovative approach that is appropriate for modern life, It explores the self, the relation with the environment, and with each other. This is a small practice that I invite you to try for the remaining time of my talk, or at home on your own. You will start with a fist and slowly open up the palm, but only very slowly. And in this process, you will find places where you might want to pause, and your hand will start to tell you all the stories it remembers. As of today, we have been contributing to bridging ancient wisdom and modern life through more than 3,000 hours of communal practices and 150 plus original articles on embodied research. Moreover, our community-based teacher training program have graduated a new wave of young leaders in the field of somatic education, solving the formidable aging problem faced by many lineages and creating an impact that touches the life of 4,000 people per year. We would like to highlight two programs that are seeking your support. First, the residency program, which is at the forefront of pioneering research on embodiment and cross-cultural dialogue. Second, we are also seeking support in our effort to scale public education and accessibility to somatic practices through our mobile app. Alas, our long-term collaborators, which include 60-plus community leaders and organizations, are side by side with us. Together with your help, we can scale our impact to serving 20,000 people per year and lead embodiment practices into its next era. I truly believe that After Sunset is so uniquely positioned with the structure of community, research, and public education that we are going to shape the future by regifting the world the treasures of our past. Somatic practices are not only solutions to our modern mental health epidemic, lack of environmental awareness, but a beckoning from the spring of life to awaken and to see this world through the eyes of our wise predecessors who are kin with nature, spirit, and their human children. To conclude my pitch, I invite you to return to the moving hand, to your own body, and let it speak to you. This is an invitation to awaken to the magic of our own being.
Thank you, Jessica. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Mangwen Zhao, founder of Felt Archive, a creative wellness studio that transforms emotional transitions into embodied personal archives. They merge somatic coaching with multimedia storytelling to help queer, diasporic, and sensitive people reconnect with their bodies, reclaim their narratives, and document their becoming. Since its launch in 2024, Felt Archive has supported a global community of over 300 participants across 28 countries through somatic portrait sessions, hybrid workshops, rituals, and retreats, creating spaces where vulnerability becomes power and personal stories become collective memory. Mengwen, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. Before we officially begin, I want to invite you to take a breath with me and give yourself a gentle hug. Ask your body, how are you feeling, really? This is baby me in China with a dream of becoming a photographer. This is me 4 years ago, beaming with joy as my photos of queer communities lit up in New York's Times Square. On paper, I was at the peak of my career, living my dream as a quote-unquote successful artist. But on the inside, I was burning out. I was tired, my back hurt, I couldn't sleep, I lost touch with my body and my feelings. As a queer Chinese diasporic artist, I carry the weight of storytelling, especially for communities often erased by censorship, migration, and silence. And I realized when our bodies burn out, our stories burn with us. So I slowed down and turned inward. I started practicing Reiki, Thai massage, and somatic coaching. My aliveness came back, my desire to create returned, and I realized I wasn't alone. Burnout is a cultural crisis. 1 in 4 people globally experience burnout. 1 in 2 creatives experience that. 58% say it impacts their entire well-being. The communities hit the hardest are creatives, queers, and diasporic people, the very people shaping our cultural narratives. That's why I created Felt Archive, merging somatic practices and creative expression to help us return to our bodies, reclaim our stories, and remember our future. We offer somatic coaching and portrait sessions through touch, meditation, and portrait making. We help people come home to their bodies and spirit to see their authentic power mirrored back. One client said, "It was the best gift I've given to myself. I finally saw my vulnerability as beautiful as my strength." We bring communities together online and in person to activate their senses, unleash their creativity, and build collective archives through hybrid workshops and retreats. Participants say it creates a beautiful container of love and courage. I became more aware and present. I went from feeling ungrounded to feeling seen, held, and supported. Since our launch 2 years ago, we've collaborated with more than 10 global partners and reached over 300 participants in 28 countries. The methodology works. As an artist, educator, somatic practitioner, and community organizer, I bring 10 years of experience bridging words that rarely connect. The wellness industry often offers healing without expression. The art world often offers expression without healing. Felt Archive tries to bridge the space in between. The global wellness economy is rapidly growing. It reached 6.3 trillion in 2023 and is projected to hit 9 trillion by 2028. Wellness retreats alone represent 180 billion, one of the fastest growing sectors. We're positioned at the intersection of creativity, mental wellness, and diasporic narrative making, serving culture makers who shape the future of art, tech, and society. Join us. We are inviting you to invest in the physical and digital infrastructure of the next generation's cultural record. We're seeking 150K seed funding. Currently, we're scaling digitally by creating self-paced courses so that people can write their own stories on their own timeline. We are also creating facilitator training to expand globally. Our next phase will be creating the Chiang Mai Floating Home Residency Pilot, a space for burned out creatives to slow down, heal, and create authentic stories without the pressure of performance. We're looking to collaborate with more cultural institutions, wellness, education, organizations, and technologists. If the past is written by dominant power, let's learn how to rewrite it with love from bottom up. What if your story is the seed of a new word? Join us in shaping a future where we're walking each other home. Thank you so much. Keep in touch. Find me everywhere at Meng Wen Cao. Thank you.
Thank you, Meng Wen. Up next, please welcome Ziyi Jiang, founder of Wild Garden, which fosters somatic embodied connection, creative expression, and nature-based well-being. She designs somatic, contact improvisation, and integrative arts programs for urban individuals and diverse communities seeking grounding, healing, and interpersonal connection. Wild Garden has hosted nearly 40 in-person workshops, collaborated with international facilitators from Europe and North America, and cultivated an expanding cross-city online network. ZE is committed to inclusivity, embodied awareness, and sustainable nature-rooted living. Through her work, she aims to build a nurturing community where people reconnect with themselves, with others, and with the natural environments that sustain them. ZE, please take it away.
Hi, I'm Ziyi, founder of Wild Garden. Let me begin with a story. In kindergarten, The teacher once pulled a little girl out of dance class and told her mom, "She doesn't follow my steps. She just wants to move the way she wants." Growing up, school forced students into rigid, standardized body exercises. Stiff, repetitive, identical. The girl was thinking, "One day, I just want to move freely, with no fear, no judgment of right or wrong, no need to look the same as anyone else." That little girl was me. I never became a professional dancer. I studied French, working as an interpreter using my mouth, and working in filmmaking using my eyes. But only this part, above here, while the rest of my body was silent. Modern life shapes us. We sit for hours, living in our heads, touch and hug our cell phone instead of a real person, and forget we even have a whole body. After the pandemic, this disconnection became impossible to ignore. That's when I found somatic movement and contact improvisation, a postmodern sport dance born in the US in the 1970s. My first time walking into a CI jam, I was stunned. People moved like children, spontaneous, playful, connected. I longed to join, and a seed was planted. Throughout years and practice, my body was softened, and I remembered its intelligence. Somatic movement and CI taught me something many of us never learned: how to listen to our body, how to move authentically, and how to connect and be together, not using words. It changed how I relate to myself and to others. In one of our CI workshops, a nearly 60-year-old father joined with his 16-year-old son. During a simple interactive exercise, the boy slowly melted into the father's back, both resting on the floor. They stayed there quietly, breathing, leaning, reconnecting. No words, just a relationship reopening through touch. Moments like this are frequent in Wild Garden. Today, more than ever, people are overwhelmed by stress, screens, isolation, and emotional overload. Somatic practice and CI matter because they restore the nervous system in ways talking alone cannot. They build trust and connection through touch and presence. They reconnect us with intuition, playfulness, and the natural world. They help repair relationships from the level of the body. In a time when many feel numb, anxious, or disconnected, embodied practice is no longer a luxury. It's a necessity for well-being and healthy communities. Wild Garden is a somatic movement and contact improvisation community that brings people back to the body, to each other, and to nature. We create spaces, online and offline, CI jams, multi-day workshops and retreats, where people of all ages explore movement, trust, and embodied communication. Our mission is to help people move freely, feel deeply, and reconnect. Our vision is to build a world where bodies are listened to, relationships are felt, and community is built through presence, care, and shared movement. In the past 2 years, we've held nearly 30 workshops in China, with over 8,000 participants and online viewers, and a collaboration with European and US facilitators, as well as a growing network of CI communities and partners across the globe. Not to mention the transformations of countless individuals. So today, I'm inviting you to come experience what happens when bodies meet with trust and openness. And to make Wild Garden sustainable and to expand access to more communities, we're seeking $50,000 in funding. And your support will directly nourish this young but growing ecosystem of connection and embodied healing. Wild Garden is growing, and I invite you to be part of its roots and its future. Thank you.
Thank you, Ziyi. Next, please welcome Shu Yang, founder of Love Flow, a wellness initiative dedicated to empowering urban professionals to manage stress and reclaim inner peace. Through Love Flow, she designs and delivers accessible, holistic programs that blend yoga, mindfulness, and creative arts therapy. She has successfully led the Urban Serenity Base Camp, providing transformative online and offline workshops that equip the community of young professionals with practical tools for emotional resilience. Love Flow's work is driven by a core commitment to making mental well-being inclusive and actionable. Through this venture, she aims to foster healthier, more connected urban communities where individuals can thrive amidst the pressures of modern life. Shu, over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Shu Yue. Let's reconnect urban souls. Look around at the people in your city. Behind the bright screens, a silent crisis growing. What the WHO calls the health epidemic of the 21st century. We are digitally overconnected, yet emotionally bankrupt, leading to burnout, anxiety, and deep isolation. We care for work, families, and future, but neglect our own well-being. Imagine, every morning you wake up already behind, your mind racing and the calendar overflowing. The constant stress steals your sleep, strains your relationships, and chips away at your sense of self. It's a silent reality for millions. Love Loft is a direct response. We are not just another wellness venture. We create opportunities where urban souls can finally exhale. Our base camp, the Urban Serenity, is a first-of-its-kind experience that fuses traditional yoga practice with guided storytelling circles. This isn't just exercise, it's a journey towards self-compassion. We offer yoga practice to reconnect with your body, storytelling circles to share vulnerabilities, and community building to forge genuine connections. The results? A measurable drop in stress and anxiety, softer self-talk, and relationships that last beyond the workshop. Our impact is already proven. Our pilot event sold out in days, and the participants reported a significant drop in stress after just 1 week. What we offered isn't a luxury, it is a necessity. What makes Love Flow different is my own experience. I found this venture from a place of personal need. Yoga pulled me out from my own burnout. This isn't a business theory. It's a mission born from resilience. Our success is built on this authenticity, plus community trust through partnerships with local venues for a 3-month exhibition. Our vision is a city where stress is met with community, not isolation. By 2025, we have already expanded to 3 major cities, trained 50 facilitators, and impacted 1,000 people. It addresses a critical urban need. Imagine a city with softer shoulders and kinder eyes. At Love Flow, we believe healing is not a solo performance. It's a chorus of shared breaths. Our mission is to make it accessible. We are seeking partners, community centers, companies, and professionals. Join us to build a more resilient city, one flow, one story at a time. Thank you.
Thank you, Shu. For our final pitch in this section, please welcome Caroline Ouyang, founder of Sense Now, a mindfulness and meditation brand dedicated to helping people cultivate calmness and happiness. Sense Now offers events and courses for young professionals in China and has already hosted more than 40 mindfulness sessions. Sense Now is committed to building a community that empowers people to live more joyful, mindful, and peaceful lives. Caroline, the mic is yours.
Hi everyone, this is Caroline. Today I'm happy to be here and share my venture Since Now with you. First of all, let me ask, has any of you experienced work stress in the past? Please raise your hand if you did. Back in 2020, I had such a severe headache that took my days off for a few months. Since then, I started to practice meditation 3 times a day. And after starting this habit, my headache just became way much better. And since then, I have practiced meditation for the last 5 years to become more happy, grateful, and resilient. That's why I want to bring meditation to more Chinese professionals. Why? In China, people tend to work very long hours, especially in first and second tier cities. According to data, 80% of them felt stressed or burnt out, and half of them demanded mental health support. That's why meditation can be a really helpful tool for them. Today, I would like to share 2 superpowers of meditation. The first one is that it really helps us become more present. By focusing on our breath and our body, our mind will naturally slow down and reducing anxiety. Second, mindfulness also helps us become more grateful about the tiny, little happy moments in our lives, so that we can become more grateful and more happy and more fulfilled. Now, I'm going to share the major product I am bringing to the crowd. It is a 21-day online mindfulness camp targeting the Chinese professionals. The biggest characteristics or the strength of this product is a strong community. Because as people are practicing, they really need peers who are practicing with them at the same time so that they can help each other and support each other. During this camp, I will offer live sessions every week to offer them professional and practical mindfulness tools, and I'll offer audios that they can access anytime as well, so that they can really integrate meditation with their daily life. This product has the potential to reach about 8.4 million professionals. They all work in big cities in China, and they have a monthly income over 10K RMB, so that they have this capacity to care about their mental health. Now you may ask, the product sounds great, but why me? There are 3 strengths of mine that can add value to this product. First of all, I had professional experience working in a big firm, so I can really relate to the stressful and anxious situations of my customers. Second of all, after meditating for 5 years and receiving training in 2 very well-known and professional systems, I can bring professional mindfulness skills to my customers. And lastly, after working in the industry of mental health in China in the last 5 years, I can understand what appeals to people and how to make this package sounds an attractive gift that they can receive to help them become better. So now, I'm inviting you to join me to rejuvenate the Chinese professionals together. If you're a company owner who would like to bring this product to your employees, or if you're a brand owner who would like to bring this product to your customers, please reach me out through this email address that you can see, so we can all help them rejuvenate and become more happy, calm, and grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Caroline. And what an inspiring start. A big round of virtual applause for the fellows so far. We'll now take a brief moment to spotlight another key part of the fellows' journey, base camps. Base camps are community-focused events designed and hosted by the fellows themselves, bringing their innovative ideas directly to the people and places they serve. To share more about this impactful work, please welcome Mary Campbell, Senior Events Manager at Watson Institute. Mary, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you and welcome. We are so glad you joined us today. My name is Mary Campbell, and I'm the Senior Events Manager at Watson Institute. As part of the Enlight Fellowship, every entrepreneur is challenged to host a high-impact community event. It is an ambitious task, especially since many of the fellows are simultaneously working full-time jobs, raising families, and building their ventures. The Enlight Fellows are working around the clock, focusing their efforts on scaling youth-led solutions to mental well-being. These unique entrepreneurs have each brought innovative solution to pressing issues, both through their main venture work and through the powerful events that they've held throughout the program. These events are what we at Watson Institute would call a base camp. A base camp is a powerful 1 to 3 day experience that's designed to showcase the founders' work and to mobilize their local communities. These events, they provide hands-on learning that equips other local entrepreneurs, leaders, and community members with tools that are needed to foster a culture of innovation solutions. While each base camp is certainly different, they are all focusing on creating space for authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and forward movement, helping bring big ideas and solutions to fruition. Despite the challenges that come with event planning, these entrepreneurs' ability to pivot under pressure have led our team to see just how truly special they are. For them, this is not just a program requirement, it's a critical chance to make a real, measurable difference in their communities. So today, I'm really excited to highlight just how meaningful these efforts have been. Let's look at the numbers this fall. The fellows have dedicated an average of 30 hours each outside of their regular sessions to planning and hosting and executing these base camps. In total, this cohort is projected to impact well over 300 unique individuals through the course of their events, which is truly remarkable. One fellow, Shui Zong, held her base camp in China this past October. Here's what she had to say. Each workshop combined guided activities with group sharing to deepen mind-body connections. The event successfully engaged over 50 participants. Participants reported reduced stress, improved emotional regulation, and a stronger sense of community. Feedback highlighted the value of blending yoga with storytelling for personal growth. And notably, the base camp fostered meaningful connections, including a partnership with a local yoga studio, which supports future community events for us. Another fellow, Jessica Liu, mentioned that her base camp created a space and opportunity for people to dive into the pleasure and wisdom of body practices, then engaged in meaningful dialogues after, creating deep connections with fellow participants. It also successfully planted the seeds for future collaboration within our organization. So, to all of you founders, thank you. Thank you for trusting us to help guide you on this journey. Thank you for the long hours that you spent planning and developing and collaborating with one another. We know that this was not easy, but you accomplished something and it was powerful. We are so grateful that you let us be a small part of your journey. We know that there are certainly more events to come, and this is only the start. So, on behalf of Watson Institute, we cannot wait to see what you do next.
Thank you so much, Mary, for shedding light on the incredible community-rooted work happening through the Enlight Fellowship. We'll now take a brief intermission. During this time, we get to see some of the incredible work the fellows have been doing through their base camps. When we return, you'll hear from Abby Fluff, Events Manager at Watson Institute, who will guide us through the next set of powerful pitches.
Welcome back, everyone. This next round features fellows whose ventures are supporting individuals who are navigating life transitions, rediscovering identity, and reconnecting with their inner compass. These ventures help people move from confusion to clarity, from isolation to community, and from uncertainty to purpose. First up, let's hear from Grace Ge, founder of In Between, a venture that aims to uplift people as they navigate periods of transition. In Between offers career exploration courses that help people to find their own strength and new possibilities. In Between has impacted over 80 individuals to reimagine their life and make choices with more confidence and clarity. They are committed to building a community and creating ritual gatherings for those who are in transition, where their courage is witnessed and their choices are honored. Through their work, they aim to enable more people to embrace change, to grow and thrive. Grace, please take it away.
Have you ever felt lost in transition between jobs, cities, or chapters of life, wondering who you are when your title no longer defines you? For years after college, I chased roles that looked impressive on paper but never felt like me. It wasn't until I made my own leap from corporate innovation to psychotherapy that I began to understand the deeper struggle beneath change. What I discovered is this. Among urban working professionals in China, 8 out of 10 expect career transitions. Among them, over 70% experience anxiety, self doubt, or loss of meaning during life transitions, while only 20% of them would actively seek help from surroundings. Half of them are silently waiting to be helped. That's why I created In Between, a venture designed to help people not just to survive change, but embrace and grow through it. Looking back on my own journey, I went from feeling lost to finding my anchor, direction, and courage to sail again. Now I am building a harbor for other people navigating their transition journey. Here's our approach. We start with a 4-step exploration course where you create your map, discover your anchor, find your superpower, and integrate everything to build a plan that is authentic to you. Our method is empowering, embodied, creative, and most importantly, we connect people through sharing in groups and communities. This is a sketch from Seal, a 36-year-old freelancer now living in Shanghai. She first came in with confusion and self-doubt, not knowing where to go despite a variety of jobs she did. After attending our session for just 15 minutes, she came up with this sketch and said, "I didn't realize I've come this far." In fact, this is the most commonly heard comment from our participants. By leveraging creative tools, we inspire them to uncover their inner strength and resources very quickly. This is what sets us apart. In just 5 months, we've reached 80 plus users through 5 events, delivering over 300 hours of paid service. They reported elevated resilience, confidence, clarity, and a newfound comfort with ambiguity. Like what Seal said after completing her sessions, confusion sustains, but now I know I have all the strength to go ahead. It's all in me. Now, Seal is an active member in our growing community, Love Hub, where we hold monthly transition narratives, a dedicated rite of passage. This is crucial because in a space between identities, people don't just need advice, they need their courage witnessed and their choices honored. It transforms solitary doubt into shared strength and belonging. To solidify this harbor, we are seeking $10,000 in funding. This will directly help us to curate 10 such sacred gatherings in 2026 and reaching to 200 people, doubling what we have achieved this year. Your support will invest not just in events, but in a very ritual of becoming, helping more individuals find their anchor and sail forward together. Please connect with me after the pitch. Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. Next, we have Carrie Mu, founder of the Nomad Lab, a new venture born during the 2025 Enlight Fellowship, designed to support Chinese citizens returning from abroad and navigating career uncertainty. After losing her U.S. work visa and returning home to China for the first time in years, she personally experienced the anxiety and disorientation that many young people face. Based on her experience navigating this anxiety, she has designed personal growth programs to help a wide range of participants, including Chinese citizens returning home from abroad. These programs have included an education innovation venture at Columbia University, a year-round youth empowerment initiative in New York, and more than 60 hours of coaching sessions for Chinese women aged 25 to 32, exploring relationship patterns. Today, she is on a journey to find a self-consistent lifestyle for highly educated returnees to thrive psychologically, professionally, and sustainably. Carrie, the mic is yours.
I rewrote this pitch this afternoon because I just realized one thing recently that completely broke me. That is, all these years, so many major decisions in my life were actually made by fear. Once in a session at Watson, a preceptor asked a question, "What's one thing you are most proud of?" And I answered, "I'm so proud that I always follow my heart. I always choose the things that I'm truly passionate about." But I just realized I had been cheating myself. When I applied to a university, it wasn't because I loved that major. It was because the ranking was high. When I looked for a job in the US, it wasn't because I truly wanted to work in nonprofit. It was because, as a foreigner, I thought I'd have a better chance there to find an employer willing to sponsor my visa. In my last venture, I kept saying, "Oh, how much I love helping people, how good I was at it." But the truth is, I just wanted to make a living. All my decisions were made out of fear, not passion. After living such an inconsistent life, I couldn't feel real happiness. What I learned from Watson, most importantly, is it's okay to be myself. In this environment, I felt the courage to be vulnerable, to be authentic, and to be brave. And that's where I started my new venture. The Nomad Lab is designed for highly educated returnees who feel lost about career identity and life direction. The goal is to find a self-consistent work and lifestyle for returnees to thrive psychologically, professionally, and sustainably. Why? Because I'm one of them, and this is exactly what I experienced when I was back, and I totally understand how struggle it is. In 2024, over 560,000 Chinese students overseas prefer to return home after graduation, and returning job seekers are growing by 20% annually. However, in today's China, 1 in 5 young people is unemployed. With this reality, it feels like we don't have so much freedom to find an ideal job. But I still want to say, we don't have to pursue passion. To be frank, I don't even know what my passion is at this moment. But we do deserve to make decisions that are not driven by fear. Sometimes we do need to sacrifice, but we don't have to sacrifice that much. I'm still looking for solutions. I've done more than 10 hours of interviews with returnees, and if you are one of us, or if you know any returnees who might be interested, or if you just would love to connect after hearing this, please get in touch. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. Next up, meet Haixin Wang, founder of Heart Compass Lab, which guides individuals on a journey of self-exploration by integrating psychology and spirituality. She creates experimental practices that help people turn life challenges into growth and live with authenticity and inner strength. Heart Compass Lab is committed to fostering safe, inclusive spaces where deeper self-awareness and meaningful connection can flourish. Haixin, the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Haixin, the founder of Heart Compass Lab. Have you ever noticed that every time you enter a relationship, you start to feel emotionally unstable and somehow end up with the wrong person again? Do you find yourself trying to please others without even realizing it? Or when you talk to your family, does it often turn into arguments or silence? Sometimes you may wonder why the same emotions and challenges keep repeating. You want to move forward, but it feels hard to do it alone. It is not just one person's struggle, it is something many people experience. I'd like to talk about a word we often hear but rarely understand: spirituality. Spirituality isn't a religion. It is a living force that helps us remember who we are, why we are here, and how to live in harmony with the flow of life. It is our inner wisdom, the part of us that already know how to heal, grow, and find life meaning. At Heart Compass Lab, we guide people on a journey of self-exploration that integrates psychology and spiritual wisdom, helping them move beyond confusion and pain, rebuild confidence, discover deeper meaning in life, awaken inner strength, and live authentically. We offer 3 core services: one-on-one deep consultation, themed workshops, and themed courses. Through our services, clients have experienced greater self-understanding, emotional regulation, and rebuilding confidence. And even fellow practitioners have expressed interest in adopting and sharing our methods. Our approach creates triple effects across the professional community. With over 50,000 social media views, we are building a growing community of people seeking healing and self-discovery. Our revenue comes from one-on-one consultation, workshops, and courses. Next, we will expand into membership-based online programs for long-term growth, building a supportive community that impacts hundreds and inspires thousands. I'm the founder of Heart Compass Lab and a master candidate at Columbia University, studying spirituality, mind, and body, the first ever program that bridges spirituality and psychology through evidence-based research. With 7 years of experiences in healing field and certification as a U.S. Theta Healing practitioner, I blend psychology and spirituality for transformative experiences. Our mission is to help people transform life challenges into growth. Today, I'm looking for your support, whether through funding, collaboration, or guidance, so that together we can bring this accessible and integrated approach to more people who need it. Thank you for your time and support.
Thank you, Haixin. To close this first round of pitches, please welcome Shou Hu, founder of Her Art Studio, which integrates intuitive painting, mindfulness meditation, and digital media to support individuals navigating identity transitions. She designs healing-centered creative experiences for highly educated Chinese immigrants in Toronto, including mothers, creatives, and professionals. Her art studio has hosted over 60 workshops and the Roots and Flow Art Healing exhibition, bringing together artists, therapists, and community members to cultivate a co-creative community. Shou is committed to the healing power of the arts and to community well-being. and aims to build a global network where creativity becomes a shared pathway to belonging and resilience. Sho, over to you.
See the unseen transitions with Heart Studio. Hello everyone, thank you for being here today. I'm Xiao, the founder of Heart Studio. I'm a healing artist and filmmaker based in Toronto. About 10 years ago, I moved from China to Canada with my husband when he started his PhD. I lost all my connections in the Chinese film industry and faced a pause in my career. So I became a mother. And right after my child was born, the pandemic began. My days were filled with chores and isolations. To be honest, I felt beloved but still unseen. And soon after that, I realized many mothers felt the same way with me. I was lucky to discover intuitive painting. This is a practice that healed me and brought my power back. Every night after my child fell asleep, I would take my baby monitor and walk down to the basement and spend my quiet time painting. I knew it was more than a hobby, it's my passion. Based on my own stories and background of gender studies, my passion lies in supporting women through life transitions, motherhood, migration, or career shifts. My venture, Heart Studio, offers intuitive painting, mindfulness, and digital media for people to reconnect with their inner voice and find belonging in a like-minded community. Unlike clinical therapy, we remove stigma and hierarchy. Unlike traditional art classes, we focus on inner growth, not technical skills. Over the past 2 years, I've run 60 workshops serving 200 people and produced videos for 11 community events. I've built an early following on social media and a growing co-creative community in Toronto. With my diverse background in film, art, and research, I naturally attract collaborators across fields from art to psychology. This year, we successfully launched our first healing arts exhibition, Roots and Flow. I'm rooted, but I flow. So, where am I going to flow next? I will offer scalable online programs and high-value commissions, including intuitive painting and digital media. Another stream is an NPO structure focused on local partnerships and grant funding. Together, these streams form a balanced ecosystem, rooted locally and flowing globally. Our primary audience is highly educated Chinese immigrants in Toronto. As we grow, our online programs will help us to reach millions of Chinese-speaking women around the world. No matter how far we flow, the deepest impact always happens in those small moments of real connection. One participant told me, 3 days after the workshop, I made an unexpected decision that finally resolved a long-standing relationship issue. In meditation, I realized that art for healing had reconnected me with a deeper inner wisdom. And that's what guides us. Our mission is simple, to help people reconnect with themselves and each other through the healing power of arts. We are now seeking supporters to help us scale. If you believe in art's power to make the unseen seen, we'd love to connect. Thank you.
Thank you, Sho. I'll now pass the mic back to Cynthia to guide you through the rest of today's event.
Thank you so much, Abby. Our next segment is all about the ways we heal, make meaning, and build understanding. Through therapeutic practices and powerful storytelling, these fellows are helping individuals and communities navigate trauma, identity, and cross-cultural relationships with greater clarity and compassion. First up, please welcome Ni Zhang, a California-based psychotherapist and founder of Embodied Earth, supporting Chinese immigrant families through somatic and creative art expressive therapy. She has delivered over 4,000 hours of trauma-informed therapy, hosted more than 80 workshops and retreats, and reached over 1,000 participants, helping them heal from emotional neglect and reconnect with their inner wisdom through nature, art, and embodiment. Ni, take it away.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Ni Zhang, and I am a California-based psychotherapist and also the founder of Embodied Art. I would like to begin with a simple but often overlooked truth. Emotional neglect is different from other forms of trauma. It's not about what happened to us. It's about what never happened. The love, attention, and care that were missing when we needed them consistently. It's like a plant that never received enough nourishment. It survives, but never truly blooms. Children who grow up emotionally unseen often become adults who, due to the lack of emotional nourishment they once needed, develop various patterns of self-judgment that may become imbalanced. They may overachieve, constantly chasing approval, or they may withdraw, numbing themselves to avoid the pain. They often carry a quiet sense of shame, guilt, or emptiness. And because society doesn't talk about emotional neglect and needs, they rarely find a space to explore what's really happening inside. As therapists and community builder, we see this every day. Brilliant, kind people who function well on the outside, but internally feel unsafe, unseen, and deeply alone. Yet, this is not the only way to live. They were not born into an environment capable of offering emotional support. Does not mean they will live without joy or fulfillment for the rest of their life. That's why we created Embodied Earth Clinical Therapy to build bilingual safe space and provide new emotional experience where healing can happen through psychology, expressive art, and connection with nature and being. We believe that if people are given a space where they feel safe, free from judgment, and allowed to express their emotional needs again, healing can begin and people can step fully into the ownership of their own lives. So here's what we do. Embodied Earth creates psychoeducational content combining mental health with art and eco-psychology. So far, we have published over 100 articles. Our best reaching is 120,000 reads a post. We also host the somatic and art expressive workshop and nature-based retreats, online and in person, where participants explore emotional needs and inner potential through somatic movement, drama, and connection with nature. This experience helps people rebuild what was missing: connection, trust, and safety. To date, we have hosted more than 100 workshops, collaborated with 20 plus professionals, and served over 1,000 participants. Our most essential offering is trauma-informed psychotherapy for both individual and couples, online and in person, addressing emotional neglect, grief process, and suicidal loss. So far, we have provided over 4,000 hours of trauma-informed therapy. We are now looking for funding partners to support our retreat and content projects, as well as collaborations with organizations, especially in the field of nature, outdoor wellness and adventure, and the arts community. As content creator and facilitator, we bring well-being focused education, relational building experimental retreats, and clinical work to your community. We envision a world where emotional awareness and fluence are recognized as strengths, where art and nature become the language of healing. And the fact that love was once absent does not mean it can never be re-experienced. With safety, creative expression, and professional support, healing can begin. Love finds its way back. and you reclaim ownership of your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Lee. Next, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Xingyue Dang, founder of WEB, Women's Empowerment Board Game, a trauma-informed drama therapy-based tabletop game that integrates feminist practice and Eastern philosophy to support women's psychological empowerment. She designs and facilitates immersive embodied workshops for Asian women, immigrant communities, and mental health practitioners, using claim role exploration to externalize internalized oppression and expand personal and collective role repertoires. WEB has been presented at the North American Drama Therapy Association annual conference and implemented in New York-based community and clinical settings, supporting participants in stigma deconstruction, self-care, mutual witnessing, and leadership development. Xingyue, the mic is yours.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Woman Empowerment Board Game Web. Board game based on drama therapy and help women to explore their inner role system. I'm an Asian woman with ADHD and ASD from China and have been cultivating in entertainment and education for over 15 years. Now I'm a graduate student in NYU drama therapy, and I find what I really want to do is design a playground for children and women and to share the stage with all the potential ones and witness their shine. And with decades of experience in cultural education and now hold a BA in museumology from Zhejiang University, I always concentrate on cross-cultural healing, narrative justice, and creative empowerment. High-functioning Asian women always face the invisible in the society and the isolation. Their creativity is suppressed by internalized obedience and social isolation. At the same time, professional art and drama therapy resources remain extremely scarce and inaccessible for them, especially for Asian populations and qualified practitioners. So there's my solution and the product, a board game based on role theory. It empowers Asian women to rebuild their own stories, own narratives. This year, I was invited as a speaker and a workshop facilitator at North American Drama Therapy Association annual conferences in New Orleans. I lead women practitioners from diverse cultural backgrounds and professional backgrounds through my self-designed board game. We embodied our roles and explored the role system with psychodrama and role method and reclaim our inner power as women. Now, in the Center for Family Life in Brooklyn, I facilitate Chinese girls group and Chinese mother group using this board game. So in my board game, there is a role pool in the shape of Chinese character, and each slot in the role pool represent a psychological aspect. There is some example of my role cards, and I built these role cards from historical and real figures and myths, legend, and literature. You can see they are built by women in the history or some female legend, and there is some part influenced by Buddhism and Taoism, and we also offer a space for dream states, for improvisation, and for identity merging. As we all know, the market for mental health is really large. Let's focus on East Asia. 100 million women fall into the high functioning but emotionally burned out situation. They are highly educated and they are seeking for both psychological support and creative outlet. but there are only fewer than 500 licensed Asian arts or drama therapists. So my business model include I will offer my workshop and training programs, facilitate not only women but also the clinicians in mental health, and I will also build my own facilitator certification, and we can empower female artists, do some performance, and build more impact on the society. And our long-term vision is to evolve into an Asian-centered art therapy and cultural incubation ecosystem, bridging healing, creation, and community. Empower women to transform personal narrative into collective cultural renewal. I need more money to build my website, to develop the digital platform for this board game. We also need to produce more physical board game keys, and I want to build a network for facilitator training and establish a woman art incubation fund. And I also need to collaborate with all talent from the world. And yeah, that's me. Drama therapist, now working in New York and want to help more Asian women.
Thank you, Sinue. Next, I'm excited to introduce you to Danny Shuai, founder of Haoan Media Lab, a youth-led initiative dedicated to promoting cross-cultural understanding through media. Utilizing documentaries, online dialogues, and media education, she encourages audiences to navigate cultural nuances with critical thought and empathy. Danny has reached an audience of over 400,000 through her US-China video series and has empowered over 20 students across 8 countries. Danny, over to you.
US and China, which one is freer? This interesting question triggered thousands of online discussion under a video our team produced during a talk with a young American filmmaker. People did not agree, but they engaged. They reflect, argued, and listened. And that's exactly what we hope for. Because in today's polarized world, genuine cross-cultural conversations like this are rare. And that's why I founded Holang Media Lab. Right now, tensions between the US and China are at a historic high. Exchange programs are shrinking, and the media on both sides often amplifies fears, misunderstanding, and division. For the 5th year in a row, about 8 in 10 Americans report an unfavorable view of China, according to a Pew Research Center survey conducted in 2024. Yet many young people like us are curious. We want to see beyond headlines, to understand the people behind the politics. At Holang Media Lab, we believe the media should be a bridge, not a wall. We are a youth-led initiative using storytelling, dialogue, and education to connect rather than divide. Our work revolves around one key idea: crossing cultures, perspectives, and borders to foster understanding. Our documentary series, Cross Currents, US and China, spotlights young American and Chinese who have studied and live in each other's countries, revealing the human story often lost in mainstream narratives. Our dialogue program, Cross on Off, invites youth from diverse backgrounds to discuss media online, from training topics, public figures, to short videos and film clips. Through workshop, guest talk, events, we empower students aged 16 to 25 to think critically, tell stories responsibly, and use media as a tool for empathy and impact. Since launching in 2024, we have produced over 10 full-length videos, revealing more than 400K viewers across 7 platforms. We also hosted 5 influential expert-led events, public panels, online conversations, gathering over 100 participants. More importantly, we've built a community of youth who believe that connection starts with conversation, empowering more than 20 students from 15 universities in 8 countries. We're grateful for the support of organizations like the Watson Institute and USC US China Today, as well as mentorship of experienced professionals, journalists, and educators who share our vision and values. Next, we are expanding our reach, keep conversation alive, and using human-centered stories to bridge the world. We are looking for foundation to support our growth, seeking grants and donors. Also schools and organizations to collaborate on media education and storytelling. And we keep searching individuals who believe in our mission and want to be part of this movement. If those are one of you or are interested to learn more about our projects, please contact us through our email, holangmedia@gmail.com, or direct message on any social media platform we exist. Algorithms today decide what we see and often what we believe. But stories, real human stories, still have the power to connect us. We are the Holang, the rare wave of this generation, rising to shape a more connected future. So next time, if someone asks, US China, which one is freer? We do not look for an answer. We start with a conversation. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Danny. Our final round of pitches highlight fellows that make mental health support more accessible across classrooms, families, and communities. These fellows are building systems of care that ensure emotional well-being begins early, grows with us, and strengthens our relationships. To start, please welcome Jeffrey Lee, founder of AI Pulse, an AI-driven tool that helps teachers understand classroom dynamics and student well-being in real time. With 8 years of experience in the nonprofit sector, including work as a rural teacher and in girls' protection initiatives, he designs simple, equitable solutions that strengthen teaching, empower students, and improve learning environments. Jeffrey, please take it away.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeffrey Lee, and today I'm excited to share AirPods, our mission to make mental health support as universal and accessible in classroom as Wi-Fi. Last year, when I came to US for graduate school, something happened that deeply affected me. My friends suddenly dropped off because of severe mental health issues. What shocked me was that he showed no signs in class. He was participating, discussing, collaborating just like everyone else. Only when he left did I learn that he had been carrying a lot of pressure, yet feel there was no real pathway to express it or solve it. I began noticing that many classmates were dealing with their own challenging academic, internship, and job search pressure. But seeking help wasn't easy. School counseling was hard to book, and many students simply didn't feel comfortable with something labeled as therapy. Meanwhile, teachers have no effective way to understand what their students were actually going through. So on the surface, we see a thriving classroom with students taking notes, discussing, and collaborating, but behind those folks' faces, an invisible crisis hides. Across campuses, students experience stress, anxiety, and depression. 1 in 3 students face mental health issues, yet fewer than 40% ever seek help. This is why our work began. The classroom is where early warning signs appear first, but expecting a teacher who may teach hundreds of students to notice subtle change is not really unrealistic, but also unfair. Students meanwhile hesitate to seek help due to stigma or accessible resources. As a result, early intervention opportunities are missed, and many students continue to struggle in silence. This is exactly why we built AI Pulse, a classroom tool that helps professors analyze classroom dynamics and support students' mental health in real time. After each class, students complete a short feedback questionnaire on their device. The questions are based on their dimensions the professor cites. AI then adapts their next question based on each student's response and proactively identifies students whose classroom experience appear poor, sending early alerts to their instructors. At the same time, AI analyzes patterns of stress, emotion, and engagement. Students receive immediately personalized feedback, Professors see class-level trends while AI powers visual analysis key partners and provides concrete recommendations based on their students' response. By making psychological support part of a classroom assessment, we make mental health visible, accessible, and stigma-free. We applied AI pulse in a severe classroom, reaching more than 200 students. 87% report great awareness of their own mental health. Teachers shared that classroom issues become much easier to detect instead of relying on student compliance or administrative reports. This shows that both students and institutions have a real demand, and our technology works effectively in classroom environment. In the future, we plan to partner with universities through an annual subscription model. The current structure of AI Pulse allows seamless integration with platforms like Canvas or Moodle. We had launched the beta version and will refine the model after A/B testing before expanding our large market. In the US, there are 20 million higher education students, and across K-12, spending on classroom analytics and mental health surveys exceeding 8 billion. The marketing demand is huge and the business model is sustainable. Our team brings together expertise in AI, psychology, and education. We understand not only the technical challenge, but also the complex human and institutional factors that shape classroom feedback and mental well-being. Unlike traditional analysis or counseling tools, AI Pulse is like a proactive, classroom-based, and stigma-free. Together, we can transform classroom into a place that nurture both academic success and emotional well-being and ensure that no students have to struggle alone. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And for our final pitch of the day, I'm excited to introduce you to Sharo Yan, founder of Sharo Expressive Arts Healing and Education Studio, which aims to prevent and address the collective mental health crisis among children and adolescents in China. They utilize expressive arts like painting and music to make emotions tangible for children, guide parents in understanding child psychology, and provide schools with creative wellness solutions. They have already served over 2,000 students and 200 families, partnering with more than 10 schools and communities. Shara, the floor is yours.
Everyone, I'm Sharo Yan. Today, I'm glad to introduce my organization, CS, and talk about the power of art. Look at this picture. This is a Chinese child, energetic and full of curiosity. And after school, tension, pressure, and hate learning. As a 6-year psychological educator, I've seen so many examples. One child vomits every morning before school. There are too many examples. These are not isolated cases. According to the data from China, teens with depression has reached 15 to 25. That means every 10 students, 2 are battling negative emotions. Everyone, our children are trapped in a silent crisis. What can we do? Traditional Chinese medicine emphasizes treating an illness before it happens. Mental health also needs this. We must equip children with psychological immunity, the ability to cope with emotional, interpersonal, and academic pressure. Our answer is expressive art healing and education. It doesn't require children to talk much. Instead, it uses what they love, painting, crafting, music, to make their emotion visible and tangible. For example, we once asked the children to use balls of yarn to represent their relationships. And as they slowly untangle the yarn with their hands, they understand what connection means. There is no right or wrong, only free expressions. More importantly, change is happening. One child who had never dared to sleep alone took our boundaries-based course and, for the first time, asked to sleep by herself. And a withdrawn 5th grade girl made friends here. Her parents said she can finally release herself and relax. And here are more feedbacks from parents. That's why we founded CS, bringing psychological prevention into homes, schools, and communities to build a systematic support network. The result proves this answer works. In 1.5 years, we have validated market demand through paid collaborations, online community, social media presence, and published papers. We have already served over 2,000 students and more than 200 families, partnering with over 10 organizations. We operate with remarkable efficiency. Only $60 can offer children a workshop. The average cost to create change for one child is only $1. Yet, this highlights our current bottleneck. To date, all this work has been driven out of my full-time job by myself. Passion fuels my commitment, but one person is limited. With more support, we could bring that change to more children. So today, I'm here to invite you to become a key partner with us. We plan to move forward in 2 steps. First, we need a startup fund. This will be directly used to grow our programs in more student workshops, teacher training programs, and online course packages, making qualified courses as an easy tool. Second, we need collaborations and platform connections to help more people see and join this movement. Our goal is clear: to build a leading brand in K-12 art-based mental health education to help children develop their self-healing skills. We believe prevention is the best protection. Today, every resource you invest is for a healthier, more resilient next generation. Together, let's create a stronger future for our children. We are CS. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl, and what an incredible journey today has been. To close out this inspiring experience, I'm honored to introduce someone whose leadership has been instrumental in guiding programs like the Enlight Fellowship. Dwayne Griffith, Vice President of Programs at Watson Institute. Dwayne, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Cynthia, for that introduction and for your leadership throughout this entire summit experience. As we reach the end of these past few months, I want you to take a breath with me. Really feel this moment. In through your nose, out through your mouth. You may not have seen me in every session. As the VP of Programs, much of my work happens behind the scenes. But I want you to know that I've been watching your recorded sessions, hearing updates from your program manager, and following your progress closely. And what you've done together as youth leaders addressing mental health and well-being is extraordinary, and it deserves to be honored. Mental health work requires a particular kind of courage. It asks you to speak about what many still whisper about. It demands you to create space for healing in systems that don't always acknowledge the wounds. And you've done that. You've built initiatives that don't just respond to mental health challenges, you're reshaping the conversation entirely. Over these past few months, I've watched you learn, pivot, support each other, and push yourselves to think bigger about the impact you can create. You've proven that youth leadership isn't about waiting for permission. It's about creating solutions because you understand the urgency your communities face. Before we continue, I need to recognize the incredible team that made this fellowship a reality. To our search team who identified each and every one of you. Our strategic partnerships team who built this vision with our partners at the Enlight Foundation. Our programs team who designed every element of this journey. Our events team who brought us together in powerful ways like this summit. Our design team who shaped this experience. Our operation team who made sure everything functioned seamlessly. And our leadership team who championed this work. Thank you. Your success is a reflection of their commitment. But I need to be very clear about something. This fellowship ending does not mean we're parting ways. It just means we're done with the live sessions. Watson Institute doesn't only invest during the live experience you had over the past few months. We invest in the long term. And that means we're committed to supporting you as you continue to grow your initiatives, scale your reach, and deepen your impact. This is the beginning of a longer journey together, not the end. There's a quote by Lao Tzu that speaks to the heart of what we're doing. And I quote, "When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be." Out quote. Mental well-being work, both for yourselves and for those you serve, is fundamentally about this. Creating space to release shame, to process pain, to become whole. You're not just building ventures, you're building containers for transformation. That's sacred work. So before we close, I'm asking you to participate in one final exercise together. In the chat, please share 3 things. 1, something you can give this community. Maybe it's an expertise in this specific therapeutic model. Maybe it's a connection to resources. Maybe it's your willingness to mentor. 2, something you're requesting from this community. What do you need from your peers as you move forward? And 3, your LinkedIn profile. So network continues to grow and support each other. This is the community you've built over the past few months. Protect it, nurture it, keep showing up for each other. The work you're doing can feel isolating. Don't let it be. And everyone attending, please feel free to connect with Watson Institute. Visit us at www.watson.is. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram at Watson Institute. Continue following each other's journey. Reach out when you need support. And we'll send a recap email with all the ways you can stay engaged, so watch out for that. You are changing the narrative around mental health for an entire generation in China. You're creating pathways to well-being that didn't exist before you decided to build them. That takes tremendous courage, and we're deeply proud to support you. Thank you for letting us be part of your journey. This isn't the end. It's just the beginning of what you build next. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dwayne. Today we've witnessed something truly special. We've heard from fellows who are not just creating ventures, but who are showing up for people in their communities in ways that are brave, thoughtful, and deeply impactful. I hope you leave today with questions in your mind, inspiration in your heart, and a sense of possibility for how you can contribute. Whether that's by connecting with a fellow, sharing your own ideas, or bringing a new perspective back to your own community. What we've seen today is a reminder that change doesn't always come in big, dramatic moments. Often it comes quietly, steadily, through people noticing what's needed and showing up with care. Each of you is part of that work, and your presence here matters. The conversations you start, the connections you make, the curiosity you carry forward, those are the things that create lasting impact. So thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening and for being willing to step into this conversation with openness and care. On behalf of our team at Watson Institute, thank you for being part of the 2025 Enlight Fellowship Summit. Take care, stay connected, and keep shining light where it's needed most.